exec Shuhei Yoshida that may have already inadvertently questioned the competency of current PlayStation leadership, we now have revelations that 2 more PlayStation first-party games as a service titles have been canceled. Oh boy. Though these were not single-player titles, let's be abundantly clear, they were of the much maligned live service games, the revelations are nothing short of embarrassing for Sony. What are they doing, people are asking, and why are they having so many problems releasing competent live service games? And even though the following is being spouted around by fanboys who want nothing more than for PlayStation to look bad too, after their favorite piece of plastic bent the knee, there is truth to the saying that PlayStation has now canceled more live service games than they launched. So does this mean that PlayStation is doomed? That they need to drop live service games ASAP? Or is there a bigger picture that has a lot more nuance? We'll examine this and more in today's video. With no further ado, let's get into it. What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K, back again with another episode of Quick Dose. This is where we talk about the latest and greatest in these gaming streets. And man, oh man, do we have a big one for you today. But before we get into it, do us a huge favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications, please. And when you rock those bells, make sure they are set to all so you don't miss a single piece of content that we have ready for you. All right. So in order for me to break down this thing and answer the question, are they doomed? Do they need to drop live service, or is there more nuance? And of course there's more nuance. Why the heck do you think that I, of all people, would be doing a video unless there wasn't more nuance? Let's go through the story. All right. So first, let me pull this up. Okay. So this is the article from Bloomberg, courtesy of Jason Schreier. And this is Sony cancels 2 more PlayStation projects in broader retreat. When you read the article, it talks about, Sony Core PlayStation has canceled previously unannounced games at 2 of its subsidiaries. The company said the games at Oregon-based Ben Studio and Texas-based Bluepoint were both live service projects designed to draw reoccurring revenue from players. A company spokesperson confirmed the cancellations. In a statement, the spokesperson said the 2 games were canceled following a recent review. That's very important. I need you guys to pay attention to that one, because we're going to follow what this recent review was and how important it is to this to the telling of this whole story. And that PlayStation will continue making both online and single player games. So Sony didn't say if the cancellations will lead to job cuts, but in other reporting, I think from Jason Schreier himself, it said that the games were, now get this, folks, the games were a live service game from Ben Studios and a live service God of War game. Yeah, I said it, a live service God of War game. It brings me back to what I said about Concord. Who's asking for this stuff? And if nobody's asking for it, what field testing are you guys doing to say that this would even be desired? Like, a lot of these things that PlayStation is doing on the periphery as of late, and we'll talk about the source of all this bumbling, but all the stuff that they're doing as of late, you got to ask yourself, who was doing the quality control that even greenlit this stuff? I mean, I'll talk about in a little bit if it's a good thing that it's being canceled, but an online service God of War game? Who even asked for that? What is going on here? All right. So I will say up front, I don't think nobody's upset or missing that. And then there's the question of, well, now you guys aren't getting single player games. And there's some confusion there, and we'll show you in detail. I do want to say off the bat, it's been made abundantly clear over and over. And Yoshida just said it themselves. A lot of fanboys, they kill me because they want to quote Yoshida and post him all and clip him all over the internet and say, even Yoshida said that this, and the other. But they apparently missed where Yoshida said that the support and the funding for these live service titles is a separate expenditure. There was resources and stuff put towards that. So when you talk about resources in gaming, you're talking about money and people. There were separate resources to handle these live service games. Meanwhile, their single player expenditures were already, what they were going to be regardless if they were doing live service or not. Okay. The argument is, again, and I understand the argument, and I'm not mad at anybody making this argument. The argument is, even though this hasn't affected what you had previously planned for your single player expenditures, why not give us more? You had the capabilities of giving us more. You got extra funding. Why didn't you use that extra funding for more single player experiences? You can never have too many games, right? So instead of you fumbling around and maybe giving us 2 first party AAA bangers, single player AAA bangers, you could have given us 3. I'm not mad at that argument, but there's a lot more nuance to it. Okay. And to double down on my thought process all around this, I want to show you guys this. So this is coming from, I quote tweeted Prince Tybolt on Twitter. If you're not following this account, definitely follow them, particularly for the game stuff. You may not, care for the politics stuff that they cover, and that's fine. But from a gaming perspective, I agree with 99% of what Prince Tybolt has to say. And I said, look, Sony lost $20 billion in stock evaluation at the mere thought that ABK could leave the platform. It took Sony at least a full year to recover on the market. That's a sign too many of your top earners, games as a service, have influence on your valuation. And I continue, that said, it just needs to be done way better. And of course, we're going to talk about this on the conjoining NRO podcast, right? So if you're watching this as part of the podcast, stay tuned, because Cold Blood and I are going to deep dive this and talk about this even further. But if you're watching this as a separate VOD, just stay tuned. At the end of the video, you'll see cards that'll point you to the show. Well, here's what Prince Tybolt said. Now Porter Rock said, shout out to Porter Rock. He said, told you Sony's live service strategy was a bad idea. And I agree with Prince Tybolt. He says, I don't know if the idea was bad, but the implementation was awful. And then here goes a suggestion I can rock with. He says, what they should have been doing is building a team with ex-dev of multiplayer and live service experts and getting them to work on third-party studios known for doing decent live service. I mean, to me, that would have been common sense. But something happened. What happened? Why didn't they do that? Because that's the common sense thing to do. I'm going to get into that. All right. So I want to examine this $20 billion thing, this fiasco that happened. Here's why they did this. $20 billion of stock evaluation was wiped from Sony's in the marketplace, meaning their stock was devalued. $20 billion. They lost that market value in the blink of an eye, just at the mention of ABK being bought by Microsoft. When investors heard that, they said, oh, we understand PlayStation's portfolio. A huge chunk of that portfolio is coming from ABK, primarily Call of Duty. They lose Call of Duty, which very well could happen because Microsoft just bought Bethesda and made their stuff exclusive. If they lose Call of Duty, oh man, they're in trouble. Hence why the drop in $20 billion of market value. You can't survive things like that without taking action. It took Sony a year to get that $20 billion back in their stock evaluation. You can't lose $20 billion and keep getting hits like that because either Microsoft is buying something up or somebody's buying something, and or if Sony loses access to these games, you can't continue to have that. So because that happened, that led to a lot of panic from Jim Ryan, because You guys remember when this was first announced, this happened, but Jim wasn't in a panic. Jim said, look, the market is going to be the market. It'll bounce back. He was telling this to the senior leadership and the senior board because they were questioning him. How do we know this? Because of the FTC trial. We saw the emails where he was being questioned by the board, and he was like, look, man, the market is reacting the way that it is, but don't worry about it because Microsoft doesn't want to make these exclusive. They don't. They're looking to be a publisher. I got it on good authority. This is what they want to do. I don't even think it's worth it. You know, he joked around. He didn't think it was worth it, but no, they realize how much ABK leans on us as much as we lean on it. And so it would be a catastrophe on either side for us to not do business anymore. Phil Spencer's not going to do that, right? That's what Jim Ryan thought, and he conveyed that to the board, right? So the board chilled out and was like, oh, okay, all right. Yeah, we lost this evaluation. It's not good. This is happening while we're trying to fight and get our margins better, all this other stuff. But we trust Jim. Jim has been very successful for us. We're leading a very successful campaign this generation, thanks to Jim with PlayStation. He knows what he's talking about, right? But then something happens that Jimbo didn't even expect. August of 2022, Jimbo gets an email, right? Jimbo gets an email that says, oh, guess what? I, Phil Spencer, we're negotiating a deal with you. We're not planning to keep Call of Duty nor ABK on there. We're going to give you a couple of years to figure this out. You know, we'll extend this like a couple of years. What was it? 6 years, I think. Like, this is an email from Phil Spencer. It says, thanks, Jim, for your response. As I stated to you in the emails and our calls, Sony is an important distributor of Activision content, and we'd like to find a way to maintain that relationship once we've closed Activision. I continue to stand in the written agreement I sent you on January 31st with my signature memorializing our commitment to Sony. The agreement will keep all existing Activision console titles on Sony, including Call of Duty, through 2027. So he was giving them an additional 5 years. That's it. That was all they were committing to. And Jim Ryan then starts to panic. Why does he start to panic? Because again, that $20 billion that they lost may not be that recoverable if these guys are actually going to fight and make this stuff exclusive, right? And then look at their lineup. Look at Sony's lineup. This is another reason why they went for games as a service. You look at now again, I know this is a guesstimate site. This is a guesstimate site, PS Time Tracker, but I'm gonna back it up with more information to show you why this should not be disregarded. Look at the top 20 games here. The overwhelming majority of them are games as a service games. I would say probably around 15 have games as a service element to them. And of those 15 games that have games as a service element to them, let me see which ones are owned by PlayStation or which ones have like lock tight deals with them. There's only one game, and it's Helldivers 2. They own that one. Is Destiny up here? I don't even think Destiny's up here anymore. Yeah, Destiny fell off the cliff. Destiny's not even up here anymore. Oh my gosh, yeah, Destiny is falling off a cliff. Holy cow, it's now down to 37th. It used to be up in the top 20. So they only have one game out of maybe the 15 games that are games as a service that are up there. That's a problem because unlike a typical game where you just sell it and you just get your one-time thing of 30%, games as a service give you cyclical revenue. It's periodic. It's coming in. And it's not just a one-time thing because of the nature of games as a service. That's why they're called that. It continues. So now you have a dynamic in gaming right now, in console gaming particularly, where the vast majority of your top 20 games are giving you the bulk of your revenue. Like the thing that kept Xbox afloat Was Fortnite? All right, what's up, people? What's up, people? What is up, people? Do us a huge favor, hit that like button, please. We're 5 likes away from what we need. Hit that like button. If you guys give here, let me do this. You guys give 10 super chats within the hours. I'll give out a couple. I'll gift. Or no. Let's do this. If you guys gift 10 super chats that are at least light blue and higher, I'll gift a member. I will gift a member. All right, so let's start that goal right now. We'll keep it up for the next 3 hours. Okay. What's up, everybody? We are here. Thank you for joining us. We are back. My crazy schedule and all, we're trying to whip out content. We had a members video. We're trying something new. And I'll break that down real quick, and then we're gonna get right into these topics because we got a lot to discuss, and I got a break at 2 hours and 45 minutes exactly. I got somewhere to go. But before we get into all that, we got to introduce my brother from another mother, Cold Blood Sensei. Hey, what's going on, brother? How you been, man?
I was good, bro.
Today's news make you happy?
At least until today. Today I am confused and fucking mad as shit.
Yeah. No, I get it. I want to see the Sony and everybody's welcome. I'm not mad at anybody for any of their any opinions. I'll dismiss the fanboys because the fanboys don't matter. We got motherfuckers doing spaces by themselves and shit for like 11 minutes. It's over for Xbox. It's over for PlayStation. We ain't got time for that corny ass VS Vendetta bullshit. No, I'm disregarding them, but everybody else that's a true gamer, not a grifter, a true gamer that's trying to, like you said, wrap your head around this dog shit that's happening. Whatever side that you come on this, I'm not mad at you. Now I can't speak for Cold Blood. Cold Blood might rip your face off. I'm not mad at you. I just caution that before you rebut us, like you guys have before, when we were talking about the state of play, or when we were talking about Concord, or when we were talking about a variety of other things, Lego Horizon, before you rebut us, listen to what we have to say and at least try to absorb it before you go, no. Okay? That's all I'm saying. With that said, yeah, man, there's a lot Cold Blood to talk about today. I've been running my mouth about it all day. I did a video. I tried out some members thing. I definitely want to get your take on it. So I'm going to be shutting my mouth and getting your thoughts on it. But besides that, man, how you been? You been able to game and play anything this week?
I was only playing Marvel Rivals.
Oh, okay. Okay. That seems like what everybody is doing right now, is just playing Marvel Rivals. But that's what's up.
Yeah, I almost got 80 hours or something in it.
Oh, god damn. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I ain't mad at you. Yeah, man. I mean, hey, yeah, I haven't touched anything, bro. I have some, and I got to remind myself, I have some Stellar Blade footage, some more Stellar Blade Pro footage that I've just been sitting on because I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to be able to splice it up and make videos like how I did before, but I made the videos too long, so my computer can't handle it because it's in 4K and it's just the bit rate is too high. So I just said, fuck it. I just uploaded them to YouTube, and one of them is there, and the rest I'll release over time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what we did. Again, hit that like button. Let everybody know that we're live. We're live. I know we got a bunch of people that are live right now. Hold on, let me do something. I want to send out another tweet. I normally send out a what do you call it? I hit Facebook up as well, but that always fucks with the stream. Can't do that today. But do us a huge favor, let people know that we're live. Hit that like button so we can get to 10. That just getting us to 10 helps out the algorithm so much. We already got a comment from our homie Andrew Wilkins. We're gonna get into it in a second. What I do want to say though is we're doing some new stuff. Shout out to Cold Blood, Doriega, Jonathan, Geek to Sneak, everybody, you know what I'm saying, the crew. We be in the DMs, you know, fuck around with each other, talking shit, pop and spit, talking shit. But those guys are really working on the new Discord. I think you guys will like it. It's nice and simple and concise. And I think you guys will enjoy it, right? So we're going to be moving from the Geeks Discord over to this new Discord. So make sure to make this transition smooth as possible. Do yourself a huge favor. Make sure to link your Discord in your YouTube account, because if you're a member, that's going to help transition you automatically over there. All right. So make sure you do that, because we got specific member channels and loyalty channels that, if you know what I'm saying, you don't want to miss out on. Okay. And then what I did is I sat and I thought about it, y'all. And I was like, something that we had back in the day that I like gave up on, because I was like, I don't want to spread myself too thin, is we had the Patreon, and the Patreon was doing okay, but like I said, it ain't about money. And I know people want to support, but I don't want to take money from anybody I can't give anything back to. So the Patreon was based upon me taking certain member content and making it available to the Patreon people. And it was getting difficult for me to do that, so I couldn't do it. So I didn't want to waste your money, so we canceled like the Patreon stuff. Well, we're bringing it back. Patreon is back. Go to patreon.com/PNTS network. There's 2 tiers. And what you're going to do is you're going to get content. You're going to get the same content that you would from YouTube, but I know a lot of you don't like dealing with YouTube. Like, we had some people that just don't like really messing with YouTube. They would rather go through Patreon. So that option is there. You're going to get the same thing. Plus, on the Patreon site, when we get the Discord ready, you guys will be the first ones to where you can hit some of these other tiers in the Discord, like hit some of these other rooms. And then we'll flip it over to YouTube once we get everything settled. YouTube is a little bit more funny about creating the tiers and allowing you to connect Discord to it. So we're going to try it with Patreon first, and if it works, we're going to add it to YouTube. All right. So with that said, the Patreon is available. You go to www.patreon.com, and it's still PNTS Network. I couldn't change the URL. I'm sorry. If we can figure that out, we'll change it. Okay. All right. So did we get our 10 likes yet? Come on, y'all. We get our 10 likes. 2 more likes. 2 more likes. We got Andrew Wilkins in the house. Andrew got a comment. Shout out to Andrew. Andrew says, Concord, Drawn to Death, and Lawbreakers were factually good and fun multiplayer games, and they all flopped. Good games flop every day, just like Forspoken is a great open world game, and it flopped.
That's very subjective.
Yeah. I get the point. I like how, hey, Andrew, I like what you did there. I like how you threw Forspoken in there, bro. You think you slick with that one. Because Forspoken is a decent game. It got more hate than it deserved. It's a decent game, right? I mean, you could throw Days Gone in there too. Did you throw Days Gone in there? That quote unquote flopped. And that, you know, there are games that get hate. I can't throw Concord in that group, man. I can't do it. Like, I mean, Cold Blood, did you, because I'm trying to think of a way to say this, because I don't want to get myself in trouble, because I want to let you guys know that I had hands-on access to something. I'm trying to figure out a way to say this without getting in trouble. Did you have any other thoughts than Andrew Wilkins' comment besides that's heavily subjective?
No, I mean, look, Forspoken got a 64 Metacritic. I mean, it's very close to what I would have given it myself.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is a good game. It is definitely above average.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not nowhere near a masterpiece or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what game really got robbed is Days Gone. That
Days Gone.
motherfucker ain't no way a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Hell no.
What you think of Lawbreakers? Andrew said Lawbreakers was a good game.
It's kind of the same shit. Like,
Okay.
like it is right now with Concord. Like, Concord got absolutely fucked by Marvel Rivals. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's no denying it. The same goes with Lawbreakers. It got fucked by Overwatch so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nobody talked about Lawbreakers after the fucking beta.
Yeah.
Only how much it failed. That's what they were talking about.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, Andrew. Says Days Gone had great weapons. Yeah, I love Days Gone is fucking awesome. And look, this is unpopular. If they remaster Days Gone, Cold Blood would be ready to drop kick somebody. I wouldn't be mad. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at anybody. I think this is a pivotal point right now for us as gamers. Number one, and I repeat, Xbox gamers, like, if you guys want to laugh and gloat and talk some shit and say, aha, PlayStation, go right ahead. I'm not mad at you for that. PlayStation should be laughed at for this shit. But for those of you that are now trying to rebuild your soapbox after it got smacked down by Satya Nadella, we're redefining what an Xbox gamer is. Like, get the fuck out of here. I say this in the video. PlayStation's worst day is better than Xbox's best year. It's been like that since Phil Spencer took over. Don't go too far with this, because Tim Dog is out there warning you. He says the moment Halo gets announced or something way more catastrophic gets announced for Xbox, because it's coming, you motherfuckers are mincemeat. Don't. Aha, PlayStation, look what y'all did. Y'all keep canceling games. Aha, you cancel more games than you release it. All that's warranted. But for those of you that now think that you got some type of infrastructure to rebuild all the bullshit that you've passed down about Xbox and all the bull crap and lies that you passed on about Phil Spencer, now you're validated? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. You're a canary in a coal mine. It's only a matter of time before the gas hits your dumb ass. Stop it. But Ice Queen Gaming says, I'm glad PlayStation canceled them 2 live service games before it all leaked out. MM2K, I finally got one-on-one with the count. That's great. Excellent.
Actually, some shit got leaked. So, yeah.
Oh, some shit did get leaked?
Yeah, I think Cory Barlog's game got leaked.
Oh, he was doing a live. That is right. He was doing what, like Project Extras or some shit like that?
Yeah, but
what that look like? Hot doo-doo soup?
Brother, let's get the shittiest news out of the way right now.
You want to start with PlayStation?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, here, let me put it up on the screen. We're going to go through it just for those of you that living under a rock, and then we'll talk about it. Sony cancels 2 more PlayStation projects in broader retreat. This is come from Jason Schreier. It says the company told subsidiaries Bend and Bluepoint it will work with them to determine their next steps and minimize job losses. So, a company spokesperson confirmed that the cancellations in a statement. The spokesperson said that the two games were canceled followed a recent review. I think that's very important to keep in mind, and that PlayStation will continue making both online and single player games. Neither studio will be shuttered. Bend and Bluepoint are highly accomplished teams who are valued members of PlayStation studio family, and we are working closely with each studio to determine what are the next projects, the spokesperson said. Cold Blood. Okay, so let's just get right into it. The simplest question I can ask, what are your thoughts on all this?
Well, I told you already what I think about it in the DMs, right? It's mental asylum levels of crazy what PlayStation was doing. Like, holy shit. They really put Blue Point Games on a fucking live service game. What the fuck are y'all doing? Is that what you got out of Demon Souls, that they need to make live service all of a sudden? Bro, they literally had the showcase game for 2 years for the PS5.
Yeah.
For 2 fucking years straight before new games came out.
Mm-hmm.
So now all of a sudden everybody has to do live service?
Yeah.
Ben Studio making live service?
Mm-hmm.
After Days Gone?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is going on? Bro, like seriously, I when I facepalmed myself, I had the worst fucking headache ever. Holy shit.
Yeah. I'm laughing, but it's not funny. It really is when you think about it. It's not funny. This. I don't want to spend too much time explaining the sense of urgency Sony felt, because I've done that before and it's going to sound like I'm making an excuse for them, and I'm not. I understand the business impetus for this. But no. Let me hold on. Let me rephrase that. I understand the business impetus for pursuit of live service games, but how they've done this, they've completely fucked it up. And my God, I'm going to say it right here. For 2025, matter of fact, let's do this. For now on, when Cold Blood says something about an entity at one of these companies, I'm not allowed to say no. I'm just going to say, okay, I understand where you're coming from. Because holy fuck. And we could blame Jim Ryan, but Jim Ryan was in a panic when he did this. Like, I don't know if the motherfucker has a pacemaker and the shit was going off because he was scared of ABK. I don't know what happened, but he was in a panic. He wasn't in the right state of mind. I talk about that in the video. You guys will see that later. But the dust settled on ABK a long fucking time ago. When them motherfuckers asked for dev kits for their other games that weren't ABK, we knew, Sony and Herm Host knew, and Hiroki Totoki knew what was going on. That Xbox was not going to be a threat. Why would you continue to greenlight shit that was only proposed because the guy that started it was in a fucking panic? Like, I don't give Jim Ryan a pass because we wouldn't be here without him, but that just proves to you how useless Herm Host is right now, and Hiroki Totoki. Like, the only guy that's competent there is the hardware guy. And I don't want to put more work on him so he goes and leaves like Yoshida, but you might have to let this motherfucker take over everything. Who the fuck wants? Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
When I heard that Yoshida is gone, that was the end of a fucking era for PlayStation.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, motherfucker told them
Mm-hmm.
he would never have made that fucking push if he was still PlayStation CEO.
Mm-hmm.
But because he didn't want to do it, he got fucking shafted.
Shafted, yeah.
And now look at what happened, bro. Like, they literally could not handle a single fucking live service game coming out.
And-
Like, what the fuck are we doing?
And bro, think about it this way. The last second player or second party exclusive that we got, which was a fucking banger, was because of Yoshida. It wasn't because of Herm Host. Wasn't because of Hiroki. Because of Yoshida, that Stellar Blade. Like, Final Fantasy was already negotiated. That was done a while ago by probably Yoshida and whoever, and Sean Layton or whoever. But the last second party banger that we got was because Yoshida, the indie lead, the guy that was part, saw the game and brought it to PlayStation. Yeah, man. Got to tell y'all. And I don't know. You tell me what you think about this, Cold Blood. I keep getting her name wrong. What is it, Connie Bonnet or Corrine Bonner? What's that motherfucker that got ousted out of PlayStation that, what's the name, was to keep talking about?
Well, no. Corin Bush from EA got.
Oh no, not
fired.
not them.
She got. I mean, she got fired. She's no longer with BioWare.
that was it, Corrine Bonnet or whatever the motherfucker, the producer over at
Connie Booth or something.
Yeah, Connie Booth. Connie Booth. Yeah, Connie Booth. I mean, there could be some truth to that. That when Herman Holst and Jim Ryan and the Panic introduced this games as a service push, the vets like Connie, Yoshida, Sean Layton probably said this is the dumbest fucking idea ever. Next thing you know, Sean's gone. Yoshida's pushed to the mailroom. You know what I'm saying? And dealing with indies. And then the Booth, Connie Booth, she was ousted later. Yeah, man. It does give you pause and make you think that there's a lot of concern of the leadership there and what they greenlit. And I think there's two rays of light, Cold Blood. One is the simple fact that PlayStation has so much talent that I still feel like they can put out great games. But leadership is a necessity. They can't just do everything on themselves. They need a Yoshida that can look over and say, no, Corey, you got to go back and do this over. No, we're not doing that. They need somebody with experience like that, and they're lacking that. But they still can whip out good games where you look across the street at Xbox, they don't know a good game to save their fucking lives. So that's why I said, you Xbox fanboys, sit in the back of the plane here. Go sit and coach.
Whoa. No. We do not mention Xbox whatsoever when it comes to this.
Mm-hmm.
This is like being a fucking sore loser right now. If we're gonna be talking about Xbox.
No.
In this context, because
the reason why I'm
brother,
bringing that.
No, look, there's no excuse for what the fuck they did. Absolutely none.
No. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna let you finish, but just to make sure you don't take what I'm saying out of context. We're not excusing PlayStation by going after Xbox. What we're telling Xbox people is don't try to drag down PlayStation and put them on your level, because that's what a lot of people are doing. They're out here trying to get on the soapbox saying, see, console gaming is in trouble altogether. See, no. These are two totally different conversations. Xbox is in trouble, like dire trouble. They bent the knee. PlayStation has a leadership problem, and we're going to address your leadership problem. Like you said, there is no excuse. Now, I just want to make sure I make that abundantly clear. We're not being sore losers and saying, oh, well, Xbox couldn't. No. That's why I said at the beginning of this, Xbox people, you can laugh, but don't try to use this to create a soapbox and say, see what I was saying? See what Destin was saying? The consoles are in trouble everywhere. Nobody wants to be on console. We just want to make that distinction, but I'm sorry, go ahead. I just want to make that clear.
No, I mean, I wanted to clear it up that we're not going to be talking about, we're not going to be talking shit about Xbox to excuse what PlayStation did.
Yeah.
Because really, in the end, bro, they are the most dominant force in gaming right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they are just fucking around with that position. And it's gonna cost them dearly if they keep continuing to fuck around.
Yeah. Thank you, Dawn, for retweeting the podcast. And hit that like button, y'all. I know we got our 10 likes. I ain't gotta stop there. Hit that like button. Because we doubled our viewership, because I know there's a lot of podcasts going on right now. I didn't have the opportunity to spam this out as I normally do, because as soon as I got done with work, I had to start the stream. Yeah, definitely. This is an isolated incident. It's just that this is not an excuse for some of the other rhetoric that we had out there that excuses Xbox. No, this has nothing to do with that. This is gamers, actual gamers, people that play games, looking at what PlayStation is doing, and they're like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, so my thing is, okay, so Jim Ryan was in a panic. Clearly he was in a panic. And I'm not making excuses for Jim Ryan. But Jim Ryan was in a panic. I talk about it in the video. He originally thought, he laughed at Microsoft buying ABK. He said, horrible deal. And he told the board, don't worry about it. We know we lost the stock evaluation, but we'll get it back, because the market will realize that Xbox is not trying to make this exclusive. And so we'll be okay. And then only for a couple months later for him to say, hey, look, we just want to confirm that you guys are going to continue on with our partnership the way Activision would have when they were by themselves. And Phil Spencer was like, hold on, buddy. We'll give you 5 more years. But after that, you're shit out of luck. We'll give you 5 more years with everything. But after that, you're shit out of luck. And that's when he went into a panic. He's like, oh, fuck. Just told the board. This was a big deal. We were laughing and chuckling, saying it was overvalued, da-da-da-da-da. I got to fix this problem fast. That's clearly what it is. Clearly what it was. He was not in his right state of mind. He purely panicked when he did this dumb shit. But again, once the dust settled, once y'all saw that ABK or that Microsoft was bending the knee, they were going publisher. They would have indicated that when they said, can we get some development kits for these other games? And I'm pretty sure there was a lot of conversations going back and forth. Once that was realized, that's when you were supposed to sit down and say, okay, let's see here. Some of this shit is just pure slop. What do we got here? We got Bluepoint working on a live service game. There's 40 fucking people at Bluepoint. Yeah, we got Ben Studios doing a live service game. And oh yeah, by the way, Bluepoint is with their 40 fucking people. They're doing a live service God of War. Cold Blood, why don't they just hire us? I mean, I can, you know, I can use the extra cash. Just hire us.
What? Janitor work?
What you say?
What, you want to be the janitor that knows everything?
Hey, I don't. Yeah, look, shit. Or hire the janitor. Because apparently they know more than that. Hire the janitors that they already have. Hire somebody. Give me some of that. Give me some of that Sony money. Jed. You can't be this stupid. A live service? Hold on. I don't think you guys will understand what I'm saying. A live service God of War game that's being made by Bluepoint. Staff of 40 fucking people. You don't think the janitor would have been why? Again, get it. I'm not excusing Jim Ryan. He was wrong. He gets paid the big bucks. It was indicative of him to sit back and say, oh shit, okay, I was wrong. I misjudged this. I did tell the board this. Let's think logically and let's come up with a counter plan to deal with this. Like we'll try to thwart this deal as much as we can. But what do we do? Because we apparently got to address live service. Now I know most of you saw this. You doesn't give a fuck that it was canceled. You're just like, this is embarrassing. And this was a waste of resources. But you're not upset that the games were canceled. You're upset at the waste of resources. And then you guys are looking at that and you're saying, okay, live service is stupid. And I'm not mad at you guys for that. There's numbers and activity from a business perspective, and you can't be around if the business isn't solvent. So it can't be ignored. To where I understand why they're approaching it, but they're doing it all wrong. Old Man Guru Gaming says, Herm and Jim have something in common. Wonder if the forked tongue ones are up in the ancient ways. Why does no one mention this, or is it seen as a coincidence? Yeah, I'm lost.
Wait. What?
Yeah, I'm lost.
I mean, if you just made the connection that Herman and Jim Ryan was doing the same shit, having the same vision for PlayStation, okay, I told you so a year ago. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just Jim Ryan that fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, here, Jim panicked, and Jim has done some stupid shit. He's not perfect, but I thought opposite of this, I think if you take this out of the picture, which is hard to do, and you look at everything that he's done, opposite of this, you would say he was an effective guy. He did way more good than bad. He's done some dumb shit, but he's done way more good than bad. Yeah, he clearly panicked. It's very clear. If you follow the chronological time of events, he clearly panicked. But Herman Holst, just as unqualified. That's it. He's sitting around like, yeah. I mean, because as much as we get on Herman Holst about Concord, it's Jim Ryan that greenlit it. So, but he did it under duress. And again, no excuse. If someone looks at Jim Ryan after making these decisions and said, and if Jim Ryan decided, you know what, I do want to get back in gaming just somewhere else, and somebody looked at that and said, you know what, fuck it, I don't care what your accomplishments were, you under pressure, you make some horrible decisions. We're not hiring you again. He has to live with that. So I'm not making an excuse for Jim Ryan, but he clearly did it under duress. What was Herman Hulst's excuse? And Herman Hulst clung to the like Jim Ryan grabbed the shit and said, "Oh, we're not gonna have anything else to eat. I gotta eat my own shit." You know what I'm saying? Where Herman, and you can look at this dude and be like, "You got a 302, this motherfucker. Like, send him upstate somewhere." He's clearly lost it. But then you look at Herm Hulst, who's sitting in the buffet and was like, "Oh, there goes a turd sitting on the floor. Let me go grab it and eat it." I think it looks worse for Herm Hulst. That's just it looks bad for both of them, but I think it looks worse for Herm Hulst.
Oh, Jim Ryan dipped at the right time, bro. Like, seriously, he dipped at the right fucking time, because now, after Totoki is the number one guy over there, yo, I think he was like, nah, I'm not about to have a fucking CFO tell me shit what to do. He said, yeah, I'm bouncing, bitches.
Yeah, I'm out. That's why I said I don't think they were like, "You gotta go." I think it was like they were coming down on him like, "Bruh, you're kind of fucked up here." And I fucked up. What do you mean I fucked up? Look at all this good shit. I'm out of here. And he probably knew. And again, in a panic, having Yoshida put in the mailroom, having Connie Booth or whatever the fuck, I don't know why I keep fucking up her name. Having CB, we're gonna call her CB. We're having CB tossed out of there and shit, like yesterday's laundry. He probably saw what was coming down the pike and was like, "Oh shit, I gotta like fuck some things up. Yeah, I'm gonna retire. Yep, Herm, here goes the keys. I'm out." But he wouldn't be the first. Herman Hulst wouldn't be the first dude that was handed a bad situation. Again, this is why the comparisons and the parallels have been made. Phil Spencer was handed a bad situation. He made a bad situation worse. You can argue.
Oh, no. Phil Spencer got a fucking great ass situation. He got Microsoft money up his ass. He just didn't use it.
Well,
who really got fucked was the CEO of PlayStation that had to go after Ken Kutaragi. He got fucked. Like, seriously fucked. They were almost bankrupt, bro.
Well, I will admit that Phil Spencer was given a situation where Xbox was being booed off the scene, and he had to try to salvage it somewhere.
And brother, it wasn't possible to salvage that with some money. That
he didn't get any money at first.
Bro.
He didn't get any money at first. Those first several years. No, look. By the time Phil started getting money, he already destroyed Xbox. By 2015, and I'll tell you when fucking what do you call that game? Rise of the Tomb Raider came out, and people kept pressing them because they just were hating on Xbox because of the Donnie D shit and the price. And instead of him standing 10 toes down and like, look, exclusives are part of the business. If you want this game, come get an Xbox, and we're going to be doing this a lot more like PlayStation. Instead of him standing 10 toes down, the motherfucker waffled. He acted like a simp. He didn't know what to do. And Satya saw that and said, "Okay, well, we're not doing that no more." And that's when Xbox died, because Xbox never been about their first party exclusives outside of Halo and maybe Project Gotham Racing. They were always about their partnerships. So when they lost their partnerships, that was it. So by the time he started getting money, it didn't even matter anymore. He already killed it. He made it worse with the money. Don't get me. Yeah, I'm not denying that. He made it far worse with the money, but
Well,
he already did his
I
damage.
was talking about investing that into actual quality exclusives, which he didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he didn't. He made it even worse.
Yeah, but that's what I say. He had a great situation, even if Xbox was hated on back at the time. He still had a great situation because he had Daddy Satya to give him money.
Well, yeah,
If he
Satya
really
gave you money.
wanted to.
Satya gave you money, started giving him money, what, 4 years after he killed, like in 2019, they started getting that cash, 2018. So 3 to 4 years, Xbox was already dead. Xbox was dead in 2015.
I mean,
and they was dead because of Phil Spencer.
Bro, his job, what was it to convince Satya to give him the fucking money earlier?
Exactly.
He didn't.
Exactly. No, I agree with you. That's why I said that's how he killed him.
No excuses for that motherfucker.
There's no. He did have a bad situation, but okay, welcome to the real world. A lot of CEOs and people walk into bad situations. So like there's no worse situation than Jack Tretton, who he didn't make the PlayStation 3. He didn't say go with the cell processor. He had to deal with that within the same generation, turned it around. So here's Herman Hulse's moment. And I don't think that, when you look at Jack Tretton, he didn't fuck up anything. He didn't say anything crazy. He was a victim of circumstance. He didn't build the PlayStation 3. It wasn't his fault. He didn't go with OS and tell who to DDoS attack that shit and do all that crazy shit. But he still had to change what was going on. Now here's Herman Hulse's moment. So, did Jim greenlit 12 plus games as a services, old man guru? Yeah. Clearly in a panic.
6 of those got immediately canceled.
Bam, bam, bam.
Now the rest is gonna follow.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I actually, it's crazy that Fair Games was not mentioned once in all these reports.
Mm-hmm.
So are they that sure about Fair Games, or are they just too deep into it at this point?
Probably they're too deep into it. Like, if you think about it, and I don't think that's, no, here's what I think happened with the story. Because when you read the story, it reads like Jason Schreier, because Sony didn't release this statement publicly. They released it to Jason Schreier. Why did they release it to him? Because the motherfucker found out something else and contacted them on it. And they said, instead of us trying to fight it like we normally would or deny it or not respond, let's get ahead of this. Let's just announce this shit. And they sent a statement back saying, yes, what you discovered, Jason, is true. We did cancel these games. And they probably thought, but if we let the people know, like, people hate live service anyway. And if we tell them that this was a God of War live service game, they probably won't care anyway. And they were wrong. Because the fact of the matter is, people are upset about the wasted resources. As they should be. As they should be. The complete waste of resources, too.
Bro, and half of the generation wasted at least.
Mm-hmm.
If not even longer. Like, bro, when is the next Blue Point game now coming out? If it got canceled.
Yeah. Yep.
When is Ben Studio game gonna come out?
Mm-hmm.
PS6 at the earliest?
Yeah. And people are saying, I mean, I don't know how true this is, but people are like, well, maybe Blue Point could have worked on a Bloodborne remake. Maybe so.
No. Please stop with all this Bloodborne shit. Shuei told you exactly what the fuck is going on. Miyazaki doesn't want anyone to touch it but himself. Okay. So all this about, they don't want to make a remaster and shit, bro, has nothing to do with it. It's just they respect Miyazaki's decision that nobody else can touch them, motherfucker.
Well, I'm not that familiar. I mean, I don't know what else a 40-man team could have made. So I'm I'm puzzled.
Yeah. At best, a AA effort of a live service, a mini live service game.
Yeah.
But fucking hell, bro! Like, who gives a shit? I don't. Most people probably don't.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, I don't want to like leave them alone with live service.
Like brother, Mother Rivals is the only live service I need right now. Everything else doesn't need to come out at all. Not make single player games. I gladly give you the $70 if it's a good game. Just make good single player game.
I ain't mad at it.
You don't need to make. Yeah, you don't need to make no free to play live service full of microtransactions. No. Just make single player. Maybe when you have more manpower to do it, yeah, like an actual external developer that can do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it's no longer wasted resources. It's something you add on top of your already available resources. Which, okay, they try to do with Firewalk. Totally bomb.
No. They still, even if Concord was a better game, they still handled that wrong, in my opinion. You don't buy no studios that are not proven. None. You partner with people, like you said, this is shit that you do on the periphery because you don't know that much about live service games. You partner with people that have great concepts, great ideas that look promising. You invest in it. You see how it goes. If it works out great, then you can consider, okay, you've proven yourself. You have another pitch? All right, great. We're thinking about making you first party. Like Firewalk and then even Jade Raymond's group team. All this, no. Why? You don't have the pedigree to even understand the live service nature. Like, I think now, and I think what happened is, I think what saved us from this abomination, even though this is still embarrassing and they should be laughed at and clowned for this, I think what saved us from this abomination is this group. The Live Service Center of Excellence. Because here's what happened. Bungie and Sony, or SIE, created this group at first. I don't think Bungie was serious. Because they would have told Herman Holst and them, oh yeah, this God of War, that's a great idea. You know what I'm saying? They're probably the ones that told. Now, and I think, I don't know what you think about this. I now look at Factions differently. Maybe Factions was a good game. And Bungie said, oh no, cancel that. Because Bungie is grimy. They admitted that they lied to Sony and over-evaluated themselves so Sony could buy them. They're grimy. So why would you not expect them, Sony, to lie to you, tell you good games are bad and bad games are good, to make sure that Destiny doesn't have any viable competition? Because even though y'all are under the same roof, you're still competing against each other. You know, so
they ain't ready for that talk yet.
Yeah.
They ain't ready for that.
And I think what happened, Cold Blood, is once Sony, a few months ago, pulled those, I think in October or something, pulled those, the most recent motherfuckers away from Bungie and made them Sony employees. I think what happened then is they tapped Herman Holst and they were like, look, man, we got something to tell you. Remember when you came to us and you was talking and you was asking us about Phone Stars and Concord and whatever in the Sony Live game and what Ben was working on, and we told you they were great ideas. We were forced into those positions because we were with Bungie. Now that we're free from those fuckers and we're here over here, I'm going to tell you, them's this dog shit. You don't want that fucking Sony live service game. You don't want what Bend is working on. They're not, they don't have the chops for it. You don't want this. And that's why I think now you're starting to see these games massively get cut. Not just because of this new center of excellence that is pulling the Bungie people and the Bungie people are being honest, but it's like what Jeff Grubb said earlier, which is common sense. We didn't need Jeff Grubb to tell us that after Concord, you can't have an embarrassment like that anymore. You just can't. Because I'm pretty sure someone sat Herman Holz down. Hopefully they probably, Hiroki Totoki probably got more leeway because he's the CFO of Sony. But someone probably sat Herman Holz down and said, if you don't want to go out the door with Jim, we better not ever see another Concord again. And he said, okay. He probably ran back to all the studios, had some people from the live service center of excellence with them. Was like, honestly, tell me the truth. What do you think? I know I was glazing this Concord. My job's on the line now. Like, what do you think? If you want honest truth, now that you're listening to us, that's dog shit. Okay, got it. What about this one? Yeah, that's dog shit. Okay, cut it. And did they probably even say the same thing about? I don't see. You tell me, Cold Blood, because I could be wrong. I don't know. You know better than me on games like this. I don't see anything particularly special about Fair Games. And it's probably like you said, they probably said the same thing about Fair Games, but they're too far along. I mean, I don't know. Do you think Fair Games has a chance?
There's 5% chance, a good chance.
5%. God. I told y'all, I'm not arguing with this man. I'm not arguing with him. Okay, it's a 5% chance. I'm not arguing with him. It is what it is. Yeah, then I guess you're fucked, Fair Games. You're fairly fucked, Fair Games.
Brother, if it was Marvel Fair Games, maybe.
Yeah.
I would bump it up to at least 60% chance.
Yeah.
if you have a fucking name behind it, sure.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, your chances are very slim.
Mm-hmm.
A fucking completely new IP?
Yeah.
Oh boy. And most people can recreate Overwatch success.
Yeah. Here's what I'm going to say. It seems like that and they're losing their touch. It seems like that outside of the Western developers that already have Leviathan live service games, your Apex, your Fortnites, and your Call of Duties, outside of them, it seems like going to the West for a live service game is a mistake. It seems like what you want to do is go to NC Soft or who the fuck did, even though I know First Descendant kind of fell off the map, at least there was some buzz around it, right? Who made First Descendant again? I forgot that company. What company was that?
Oh, that's a Korean company called, what are they called? Nexon.
Okay, yeah. And this is what bewilders me, dude. You got this China Joy project going on and shit like that. Like, why not? Why aren't you talking to these Asian developers that are working on these online games and you just partner with them and let those be your live service efforts? Then you learn from them Then, like Cold Blood said, over time, you start slowly but surely, you know, you use the Sony Center of Live Service Excellence. That's such a corny name, by the way. But I would just like send developers over there and see what they're doing, pick their brains, then slowly start using that information that you're gaining from them to start building studios that ain't got nothing to do with your first player shit at all. And then you slowly but surely start building these internal teams, but you partner with the motherfuckers that know how to do it. That's what I would be doing. You got Asia on lock when it comes to more so than Microsoft. Now, whatever this NC Soft Bungie game, like there might be a slither of hope there. You know what I'm saying? There might be a slither of hope there, but or the NC Soft, I can't even say Bungie Destiny game. But Marathon, Fair Games, I don't know, bro. Gaming go ahead.
Let's also call out the experimental.
Yeah. That's just so fucking stupid.
So, remember when I told these bums Lego Horizon ain't gonna do shit, even with the name Lego behind it? I mean, was I fucking wrong?
Hey, I told you I'm not arguing with you in 2025. Not. Even, yeah, you told him. Yeah, that's why I said at the beginning, and I'm not mad at anybody for your opinions. I never was, but you know, I that's why I just tell you guys, you're better off in a discussion where we have a pattern of success in being in front of this stuff. Don't let your emotions steer you in the wrong direction. I'm not saying you gotta, you know, submit to us and shit. Like, I'm just saying, hear us out and think about it. Like a lot of you guys would just push back. No. And everything you pushed us back on, we were right about. As a matter of fact, Cold Blood, I can't think of a single thing that we, you know, went back and forth with a lot of the listeners with that we were wrong on. You know, I don't know. That's why I say, you know, I'm trying. I want to be. I mean,
no. Look. I definitely underestimated the need for another hero shooter. I absolutely underestimated that. Mm-hmm. But fucking hell, just having the Marvel name pushed that game so hard. Mm-hmm. Like, holy shit, casuals, bro, that never played anything like that in their life, play that shit now. But I completely forgot about how much casuals can push a fucking game. Mm-hmm. But Marvel Rivals told me a good fucking lesson.
I mean, I'm not just saying anything in general. I'm saying something that we particularly went back and forth with the chat about. I don't think we've ever had a discussion with them about Marvel Rivals. You know, like where we had like a heated back and forth with these guys. Like, look, man, like just hear us out. Hear what we're saying. We're trying to help you out here. Like, yeah, man. Let's say bro. When I tell you some shit, I try to help you out. I don't try to attack nobody. But most of the time, people think I'm attacking their opinion or anything like that. Mm-hmm. What I'm attacking is your lack of understanding what
the gaming population wants.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite simple. People want what the fuck they had at the PS4 generation.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking great new IPs, great sequels. That's what people want. They don't want no fucking fair games. They don't want no fucking Concord. They want that shit. And when there's one fucking breakout game like Helldivers 2 or Marvel Rivals comes out, bro, that's a fucking rarity. Most of the time, these shitty ass games get released
Mm-hmm.
and fucking die after a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
But bro, PlayStation single player games, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
You can always rely on PlayStation first party to sell a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It can maybe vary a little bit between the studios. Like Ben didn't get as much sales with Days Gone as Spider-Man did or something.
Mm-hmm.
But still, bro, Days Gone. If we look at it, Days Gone was a fucking success if compared to Concord.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking hell. Or a Lego Horizon. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And when I said, look, when I said, just because Lego is in front of the name of Horizon,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean people give a fuck about Horizon all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or kids give a fuck about it. Like, bro, no. Kids give a fuck about some fireman, some policeman,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe a fucking Spider-Man or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Lego form, yeah.
They don't know.
Maybe maybe Star Wars, but Star Wars, kids these days are not that much of a Star Wars fan. But goddamn, Lego Horizon Mars, they were really thinking that they're big fucking shit all of a sudden.
Yeah.
They really did.
That's where we have to shine the spotlight on Hiroki Totoki. And, they're not going to get rid of their CFO, but he has to be moved because he's clearly pimping out the IPs. Because experimental, I bet you, if you go behind closed doors, that dumbass fucking Horizon ripoff that they apparently allowed, because it's not coming to Xbox mysteriously, is another version of their experimental games where you want to mimic our IP? Sure, go ahead and do it. And make it multi-plat. Just call it something else. And we won't do any copyright infringement. Just cut us a check. Like, I bet you if you look behind closed doors, look at the right contract, you'll find out that IP, or there's been some type of licensing agreement or some type of deal behind, we want to rip that off. And to Hiroki's like, okay, it's a new way to make money. Sure. Go ahead and do it. Yeah,
I think there's some there's some bias in that too, bro. Like, I mean, Herman is literally the director back in the day, right? For Horizon and shit.
Yeah.
So there's some bias towards that studio.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there definitely is. There definitely is. Yep. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, what would be a good poll to put up here, Cold Blood? Let me see. Let's ask the audience, do they think that Sony, do you think Sony needs to completely abandon their live service push? Yes, no, I'll add not all the way, but some, And I'll add one more. Not all the way, but a lot. Start the poll. Here we go. Yeah, let us know what you think. Do you think that Sony needs to completely abandon their live service push?
No. That they are too far gone into it now. No.
Shout out
What
to
they
Faded
have-
Blaze for the sub. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What they have to do, like I said, is get external developers on that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Leave first party alone. They don't need it. They're not ready for this shit, bro. They're absolutely not.
It would be like, say if you worked somewhere, or you worked for some rich person and it was your job to do landscaping, to cut the grass and shit like that. And the motherfucker runs outside and says, "Oh my God, we got a big party coming. And we're out of chefs. I need you in the kitchen right now." You're like, huh? I'm the fucking, I cut the grass, dude. Like, what are you talking about? No, you got to make this mousse and the escargot, you got to scoop that out and all other shit. I mean, it's like, you're sitting there looking like, dude, you're that desperate? So you go and do it the best to your ability. And then then you realize that the chefs are coming. They're just going to be a little late. And the guy's wife comes down and says, she got two decisions to make. Like, honey, you're over exaggerating. Send the lawn people back out to the lawn. The chefs are coming. Okay. There's no need to panic. We can handle this better. Maybe we can find some people around the house that can get the shit started, that know how to cook, that can get the shit started, and send the lawn people back out to the lawn. Or she can be just as dumb as the husband and say, well, the chefs are coming, but yeah, we really need them to do. Herman Hulse represents the dumb spouse. That when the crazy, angry husband made a bad decision, he just followed behind it because he don't know any fucking better. He's not equipped to be in that position. And Hiroki Totoki is just a pimp. That's all he is. He was sent to SIE to pimp. He was sent to SIE to say, you get in that corner and you get on that corner. That's all he was sent to pimp out the IP to the highest bidder and collect the money and go about his business. Suck on the toothpick, tilt his pimp hat, and go right back in his Cadillac. So he's a pimp. And he's infallible, meaning they're not getting rid of Hiroki Totoki. They might move him from SIE, but they're not getting rid of Hiroki Totoki. His job ain't on the line. If anything, he'll have less to do. He'll go back to just being the CFO. But we got to address Herman Hulse. We have to. We got to address both of them. But we got to address Herman Hulse. Herman Hulse is a problem. Definitely. Mary Wilcox says something in here, and I agree with this sentiment. What's she saying? She says, it's funny how people are touting that this is the worst game generation. It really isn't. I agree with that. I think there's just some mismanagement here that can't be overlooked. It's serious, but I don't think it's the worst generation. But it could definitely be better. I mean, I don't know. What Cold Blood, what do you think? Mary says, it's funny how people are touting that this is the worst generation. It really isn't.
The worst generation?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it depends on what are you looking for.
Yeah. Well, I think the only people that are saying that cold blood, and I've seen it online, they're the Xbox and the Nintendo fanboys who definitely had underwhelming generations, and they were too stubborn to go elsewhere. They're like, yeah, this generation sucks. And to validate the fact that it sucks for them, they look at these bad news articles for PlayStation, which definitely deserve attention, and they're saying, see, it ain't just my piece of plastic. It's bad. It's horrible everywhere. No. So I do agree with that. I do agree with making sure that we don't go overboard and we put everything in its proper bucket. This definitely is an embarrassment. This is not good representation of the brand. And hopefully this is just a correction that's going to be embarrassing, but it fixes the problem long term. But yeah, nothing here makes me say, oh, I fucked up. I got a PlayStation when I should have got an Xbox. Like, no, definitely not. And the people that are echoing that are the people that simply are having horrific generations, and they want everything else to be horrific to excuse their decision to say, hey, see, look, it's horrific everywhere. I had no choice but to get an Xbox. It really didn't matter. No, that's why I said those people need to sit in the back and coach. This is a first-class conversation. We're dealing with first-class gamers and not tourists, first-class gamers and first-class gamers. Look, here's the thing. Sony needs to address some shit, and they need to get some shit under control, like yesterday. So, Haven Studio. I don't think Haven Studios is external, are they?
No, they are owned by PlayStation.
Yeah, external devs like Haven Studios. Yeah, that's Jade Raymond's studio, right?
They are first party.
Yeah, they're first
external.
party. Yeah, they're first party, Corey. I don't know what you're talking about. No. What we're saying is, I don't like, for instance, if over time, Arrowhead or Helldivers 2 consistently is like a big banging profit generator for Sony, and they're like, we got to grab this studio. I'm not mad at that, because now you know what I'm saying. A proven studio, you're making a proven studio that's good at online first party. That's different. Haven, none of these studios that they bought for the online outside of Bungie were proven. And then when they bought Bungie, they overpaid for them and they got bamboozled. So now they got to completely gut and eradicate Bungie, gut them of their talent, which that's the best you can do, and keep them on Destiny. And then, I don't know, roll out Marathon when you roll out Marathon. But you clearly got bamboozled with Bungie. I mean, you know, the only positive thing is that you do have people that have experience with live service games, with a successful live service game. So maybe you can take them, pull them out of the shithole that Destiny has become, and extract the good stuff out of them and get them to point you in the right direction about some stuff. You know? And it's not just about, like, it wouldn't be so bad if Destiny just was overperforming or was just underperforming, right? It wouldn't be so bad. I mean, it would be bad, but not as bad. The thing that makes it worse about Bungie is that they lied to you throughout this whole ordeal. They lied to you about their value. And then when you depended on them and their expertise to tell you, to give you good advice, in my opinion, and all signs point to it, they lied to you about what you should greenlight and what you shouldn't greenlight. So now I'm looking at factions differently. I mean, when it comes down to it, the analysis makes sense on the periphery. We don't want Naughty Dog turning into a live service company, but would they have become a live service company? I mean, the excuse sounds good, but was that embedded in reality? Did Bungie over exaggerate everything that they would have needed to do with factions so they wouldn't have any competition with Destiny and Marathon? I mean, it's plausible, you know? Real Sony fans knew that they're incapable of doing live service multiplayer games. Helldivers 2 was an anomaly due to the lack of a new IP on PC. Nothing they've ever tried has worked. Yeah, they tried MAG. Remember that? They tried MAG. They tried a variety of things. I mean, like they saw success with the original factions. As far as it being a cult favorite, it didn't blow the roof off the mother sucker. You know, Sony is good at what they're good at. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, you don't pull the landscapers out of the field and put them in the kitchen. You don't do that. There was a much better way to do this. And they fucked it up. I understood where it started. I even understand the sense of urgency to even attempt it. I still think it's necessary, but not like this. Very dumb. Very dumb. And hopefully this oversight, because let's go to the article. That's why I said this part is important. Where they said, here, let me highlight this. This part is very important. I don't think we understand how, and I don't want to overgloss it. Where it says a company spokesperson confirmed cancellations. In a statement, the spokesperson said the 2 games were canceled following a recent review. A recent review? Well, yeah. I can't find the article for some reason, but the Sony had just pulled more people out of Bungie, made them SIE employees, and sent them over to the Center of Excellence, of Live Service Excellence. And I bet you after this latest wave of former Bungie people, not just partnering with Sony on some slick shit, but actually now no longer being Bungie people, but now full SIE employees. On once that transition occurred, I bet you there was another review of the portfolio, and they said, "Yeah, we're gonna okay. We got to be honest with you now. We were put in a position where we had to tell you this, that, and the other." And I wouldn't be surprised if you saw some heads roll at Bungie, maybe even quietly. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw some more heads roll at Bungie. Because I'm convinced. I'm at least convinced. I know old gaming gurus with me. I see you in the chat. I'm at least convinced they lied to him. So now Naughty Dog could have wasted all that time on factions, and it could have been worth releasing, putting out there, even if it had like a curve where it was the shit for some time and then it started to die down a little bit, and then they just had a little team working on that here and there, putting content out. It could have been worth it. And Bungie was like, no, don't do that. No, you're never going to see your wife again. You'll never see your family. You'll never be able to eat. And then you have Jim Ryan. Oh, well, I mean, they're Bungie. They must be right. So we're going to let you guys go back. And Work on Interstellar. Who knows? Jenna Hayes says, this is funny. Jenna says, Sony should push legal action against these journalists and YouTubers. It's a form of defamation. Jenna, I hope you're trolling, because you can't look. All Jason Schreier did is he said, look, I got this information. You care to respond? And they did it. This is Jenna. I repeat, a company spokesperson confirmed the cancellations. In a statement, the spokesperson said the 2 games were canceled following a recent review, and the PlayStation will and that PlayStation will continue to make both online and single player games. You could say their hands were forced to respond because Jason Schreier was going to drop the report anyway, and they could have very easily let them drop the report, not say anything, and let us battle in the trenches. Oh, well, who cares? And all, well, it ain't true. Nobody confirmed, but they came out on their own and confirmed it. They confirmed it on their own. So there's no defamation. They weren't defamed because Sony confirmed it. They did that themselves. They didn't have to respond to Jason. They could have just left it out in the gaming streets. And again, this was not a spokesperson. The spokesperson didn't release a public statement. Where's the statement at? The statement is exclusive to Bloomberg. Why? Because Jason called them and said, "Hey, I got the story. About to drop it. What do you got? What say ye? You have a response? Yeah, Jason, we did cancel those 2 games. And blah 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 blah."
Mods,
you can't defame him because of that. Shout out to. Go ahead. What you
wait,
say?
Bring up the slides. Your favorite slides again.
Which one?
From Sony, where they was talking about how the investment is gonna be now for the live service and the single player games and shit.
Oh yeah, I gotta find that. Hold on, give me 1 second. Shout out to Will Six with the $5 super chat. He says Sony should pursue a few live service games, but 12 was a huge mistake. PlayStation is getting low impact Xbox games this year anyway, so enjoy, my bros. Laugh out loud. Yeah, Will.
Look, I see the fucking vision, but that vision was dog shit from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they wanted to shit out 12 fucking games and hope one of them sticks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then they realized how much fucking effort that takes, how much resources that takes. And that's when they scaled fucking back.
Mm-hmm.
No, but find those slides, bro. Like, it's funny to look at them now.
Hey, Will Aguilar. I don't know if you're watching. I know sometimes you might lurk and watch. If you could, brother, hold on. Let me see. Can you send me the slides, Will? If you're watching. I don't know why they're so fucking hard to find. Let me see if he DM me. But to my brother Will Sinks, here's the problem with, like, because Xbox has no they have no leg up in this. Like, hold on 1 second. And I have a chat with Will. I fucking hate. That's why I hate fucking Twitter. Don't make no sense that the search is That fucked up now. Yeah, Will, to address your question or your comment, yeah, 12 in this shorter period of time was stupid. It was stupid because if you had like 5 developers that were working on 12, out external developers working on 12, that would have been smart, or that would have been okay. I won't say smart. That I get it, because the thing with live service games is that they're not like regular single player games. You don't just make a one-time purchase and then that's it. You make a one-time purchase, or it's free to play, but you keep spending money over and over and over. So it's like a cyclical revenue source. So yeah, all it takes is one. Like you could have like 5 failures in one game. Like think about it this way, y'all. If you can sell a game like God of War or Horizon or Last of Us that justifies and makes so much money that it justifies 9 other games just off of that one game alone, and those are single player experiences that aren't live service, how many games do you think a successful live service will cover? Like, I don't think people are thinking that way. Like, again, God of War, okay, might sell 10 million. That's a one-time 10 million transaction, $70 a pop, boom, right? That money that God of War made justifies 9 other or 8 other exclusive games, and 6 of them can be complete failures and it doesn't matter, right? If that's the case with a game that only has a one-time revenue event, what do you think a live service game can do? Problem is, to Coldblood's point, you have these many failures in such a short amount of time. It's got to hurt your brand along with your bottom line. Like, out of all their live service games that they talked about since they started making this push, only 2 of them have been successful: Gran Turismo and Helldivers. That's it. The rest are dropping off like flies. That's, it's affecting your revenue. And then even if Will thinks they can even afford to release all 12 and the rest of the 12 fail and the success from those 2 cover that, we got to remember, PlayStation's in a battle for margins. They're used to double-digit margins. I know Xbox is used to single-digit margins, but PlayStation, they're used to double-digit margins, and they're not getting them now because of the cost of materials, the yen. So they're trying to battle that. So they don't want these failures to cut too much into the money that they're making. So yeah, it's more so who they use to make these games, more so than the number, because they justify themselves by the fact that, again, you got to understand how things work on the PlayStation side. PlayStation is totally different from Microsoft. Microsoft they don't make, nor can they curate under Phil Spencer, top-notch AAA games that can fund a whole bunch of shit. They just can't do that. They don't have the capabilities under Phil Spencer. Sony has the capabilities to do that with their single-player games. They just idiotically thought, hey, if our single-player developers can give us 2 Leviathan games that can support a whole bunch of single-player games, well, they sure should be able to do it with multiplayer games. No. Give them to somebody else. That was their mistake. Now, I agree with you that maybe 12 was a little too much. Even if you do give it to an outside source, I would have went for a 6, because I know you're trying to throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. But let's just say if you have a success and then you have another banger and they're both out at the same time, well, they're competing with each other. So you're kind of cannibalizing your potential revenue there. So yeah, I think 12 was, it's more than I would have afforded, but it wasn't the number. It was the fucking resources that they used. Ben Studios, fucking, what's the name? Blue, whatever, to make a live service. like to me, that is like bewildering, dude. A live service God of War game, like that's nuts. So,
bro, remember last year when I was screaming multiple times, fuck around and find out? Well, they really did fuck around and find out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's where we should end this topic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, really, what is there else to say about it?
Yeah, we did beat the shit out of it. He said, if Sony, I just want to, he says, if Sony, hold on. If Sony had come up with Marvel Rivals, they would have been set. But yeah, so far Helldivers and GT have been good.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I am glad they did not. Because that would have given them a false sense of success for everything else, live service. They would have pushed even harder with live service after that. I'm telling you.
It depends. It depends. Like, if Marvel Rivals was under the same development situation like it is now, and they actually went to an outside group to do it and didn't rely on their single player studios, I'm for them pressing harder. Don't fuck with the lives. Don't fuck with the single player shit. If you go to more external people and you're pressing harder on that and using the revenue that you got from Marvel Rivals as part of that push, that's cool. I think that's not the problem. I think that's fine. And hopefully that would have been the lesson that they learned, instead of, oh yeah, Marvel Rivals did good, so yeah, everybody's making live service now. You know, yeah. If that's their response, oh fuck no. But if they would have said, oh okay, we got a good formula. If they would have been smart enough, which again, they haven't shown us that when it comes to this, you know. But no, Will, I don't think you're not understanding that. You know, respectfully, you're not understanding that the money earned from Helldivers, like, you understand, not only did Helldivers 2 outsell Spider-Man, which sold a fucking lot, but it's live service. So that motherfucker is like raking in cash like crazy. So those two games, Gran Turismo and definitely Helldivers, and again, reports came out that no, Sony didn't spend $400 million on Concord. That most of that money was absorbed from the other people that had them, but they still paid developers. They lost money on it, but it was nowhere near $400 million. So the success of Helldivers and Gran Turismo likely paid for what they wasted on what's that fucking game? Foam Stars, what they've wasted on Concord. So far, and they still are probably in the black. But Sony's looking at that, they're like, we can't waste any more because our margins are low. Or our margins are lower than typical. So we you know.
Isn't it funny? Our cooperation in this shit began with Foam Stars, a live service game.
I know.
Out of a fucking joke.
Yeah.
It ain't that some shit.
Yeah. Well, we disagree here too. I don't. And again, you know, you're entitled to your opinion. I disagree here. The budgets are going to balloon. It's the nature of AAA gaming. It's just, the question is though, which I think is a right question. Instead of doing 12 live service games, why not do 6 and do 6 single player games? Why not cut that in half? Because Jim Ryan said it himself, which I agree with. These games are getting more expensive and they're going to take more time to develop. So you need more hands on deck, what it sounds like to me. So why not, instead of panicking and having heart palpitations and doing 12 live service games, do 6. Do 6 of them and do 6 AAA games. But yeah, you can't. I hate to say it, and I'm not trying to attack Xbox, Will. I got to be honest with you. And Cold Blood can fill in the blanks here. That cut back on money shit, that's what Xbox is doing, and that's why they're failing. Like, look at Indiana Jones, dude. Indiana Jones, for as good as it looks, they put all the money in the aesthetics. Everything else is trash. The gameplay is basically Wolfenstein's punching mechanic, which was supposed to be just some mini game bullshit or whatever you want to call it. It's horrible. That's why it's not selling. That's why Xbox is not talking about it. Dude, I look at Perfect Dark. The aesthetics look cool because Unreal Engine 5 can make a lot of these indie projects look really fucking good, right? But the jank, bro, like Cold Blood, if I'm lying, I'm flying. The jank in that Perfect Dark, dude, looks so fucking cheesy. That looks like a 360 game when you get past the aesthetics. It's just so janky looking.
No comment on that for now, because pre-alpha footage always is janky.
That is fair. That is fair. That is fair. But it looks janky as fuck to me right now. That is true. Now I can't speak on Fable. I don't, but Avowed, like, now again, I'm not saying Avowed is going to be a horrible game, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? So this, and Matt Booty talked about this. He said years ago that they were going to take AAA talent and do more cost-friendly AA experiences in order to make more games. It's not working for Xbox. Xbox is country and buffet. PlayStation is Ruth Chris Steakhouse. And they are who they are. And it's okay to be country and buffet if you're Xbox, because when it comes to being a publisher, which Xbox is moving more towards, when you're becoming a multi-plat publisher, it's all about you. It's all about volume. You're putting out shit. You're putting out shit. You're putting out shit. And hopefully you can put out enough decent looking and interesting looking shit to where people will buy enough of that in volume, and you'll see success. But PlayStation isn't looking to be a publisher. PlayStation, what they're doing to their own demise in certain areas is they're pimping out their IPs to extract more money out of them, to make up for their margins that they're seeing because of the yen and because of hardware. But they're not looking to be a third-party publisher. Microsoft is. So that approach makes sense for them. But you can't make your
Remember that one podcast where I told you "Let Us Cook" is a red flag when a developer says that?
with Ben Studios. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not only, bro, other PlayStation studios did the same thing, and now look what happened. They fucking overcooked that shit.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, Will, and again, I'm not trying to be disagreeable. It's just we're talking about AAA genre-defining experiences. That approach that you brought up, that's an Xbox approach, and it's not working for them as a platform. It may work for them as a publisher. Why? Because look at Sea of Thieves. Look at even Grounded, for crying out loud. Those games are not good enough to draw people to the console, but in a multi-plat format, people are saying, oh, these are cool. Oh, this is available on the system that I already have. Okay, cool. I'll play it. But I'm not buying another or even a $300 console to play that. And then it becomes dog shit. See, I think you guys are misinterpreting the success that some of the Xbox games are seeing or will see on PlayStation. They're cool games from a multi-plat standpoint. They're good looking and interesting looking enough to where if they're already available on the platform that I already have, I will say, oh, okay, that's cool. See a thing? Okay, cool. I'll play that. And so it's already available. I ain't got to invest in another box. But if these are the games that you're trying to sell me, Indiana Jones, Sea of Thieves, Starfield, if these are the games that you're trying to sell me to convince me to buy your box, oh, fuck no. That's when they become trash. So yeah, I think you guys I think some from the Xbox side are misinterpreting why Xbox games are seeing success on PlayStation, because they're the filler in between the PlayStation games, like most of these multi-plats are. Some are bangers that people get excited for just as much as a lot of these PlayStation games, your Wukongs and your Dragon Dogmas and shit like that. But most of them are just filler in between. Xbox is now adding more filler. Oh, cool. These filler type Xbox games are here. Okay, cool. I'll entertain them now. But when you were asking me to pay an additional $300 to $500 for this shit, oh, fuck no. Fuck this water, Z would say. No. But now that they're available without that extra cost, okay, this is additional multi-plat filler. Okay, cool. And it looks interesting. I'll buy it. Let's see here. Now that we're going to switch to Xbox, time to get some Xbox videos in here. All right. So yeah, I think there's a misconception on why how successful the Xbox strategy would be for Sony first party. Now, Sony first party games are stellar. Nintendo first party games are stellar because they have to be good enough to convince you to buy their box. They have to be that good. So Nintendo and PlayStation, they don't fuck around. They can't just be good, cool games or every now and then, every blue moon we got a hit. No, they got to be commonly known as being of the best games out there. That's why when we go to these award shows, Cold Blood, whose games are filling these award shows? It's the PlayStation. I almost said Xbox, dear Lord. It's the PlayStation and Nintendo games, and you sprinkle in, say it, multiplat here and there. Those are the games that are often there for best this, best that, best, because they got to be so damn good, they got to convince you to buy the box for these games. Xbox used to make those games, but under Phil Spencer, they don't make those games anymore because Phil Spencer's not good at that. And this is a perfect time to pivot towards, thank you, Will, for helping me do this, pivot towards the Xbox news. Because what I would like to show you guys and gals, and shout out to Juice for 9 members. He said, if you compare Perfect Dark to Cyberpunk, and you would think Perfect Dark was the last gen game. Yeah, absolutely. Now, again, to Cold Blood's point, it is pre-alpha footage, but I don't expect much more mechanics than what we saw. I'm sorry. How long was that? How long was that game in development? The initiative was working on it last gen, right? This big old the initiative. The initiative was working on it last gen. Then they had to go, help, Square Enix, help! Shit looks janky as hell. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? So But yeah, and that's my message to my more reasonable Xbox brethren like Will and all you other guys out there. No, don't misinterpret the success that Xbox Games got as, oh man, we would love to see more PlayStation games. So to satisfy our need for the banger PlayStation games, we're going to play these banger Xbox games. Fuck no. With all due respect, Will, fuck no. Xbox games are the cheesy bread at Red Lobster before the fucking main course. Oh, hey, these is cool. I like these cheesy biscuits, but nobody's going to Red Lobster and paying $40 a plate for the fucking cheesy biscuits. They're just the good appetizers, like other multi-plat games, until the real shit comes out. When the real shit comes out, then that's when we're ready to play. We're ready to celebrate, ready to crown the victor at the award shows and shit. You know what I mean? And that's not what's happening with these, you know. Now, you guys may be thinking, well, regardless if they are being, if they're the big banger games or not, at least the Xbox games are being bought. And I get that. The problem is that PlayStation games have that expectation on them. And that expectation comes with a heavy crown. When you serve the people right, my God, like Cold Blood. A lot of my Xbox brethren say that Spider-Man is a failure. I need to know the last time an Xbox game sold. What did Spider-Man 2 sell? The failure, Spider-Man 2, didn't it sell like 10 million? I need to know the last time an Xbox game sold 10 million. Not 10 million players. How many copies did Spider-Man 2 sell on PS5? 11 million. Lifetime sales I see here, according to Statista, is 11 million. It's a lot. Especially for a game on a console at the, not even at the full halfway point of its life cycle, I don't think. Came out last year, 2023. The consoles came out in 2020. So for a console that's 3 years in its life cycle to sell 11 million, it's a lot. Xbox used to be able to do that. Not anymore. It's a lot of fucking cheese. Let's do the math. What, like 770 million or something like that? Okay. Times 170 million. Oh shit, no, I was wrong, man. No, what the fuck? No, I did that already. 70 times. Yeah, 770 million. And what was it, 350 to make? So they made $420 million off that fucking game? Okay. Let's see here. Just follow the money, says Corey Massey. Money is coming from the big name live. So yeah, and the thing, Corey, about that is, you know, before we fully move on, which is a great point. Trying to find your comment so I can put it up. Yeah, follow the money. The money is coming from the big name live service, from the smaller live service games. Of course, Sony is going to want to make their own version of any of that. And it's not about the money. I showed you guys. Sony lost $20 billion in stock evaluation, y'all. We cannot forget that. That cannot be mistaken. I'm just going to show it one more time, and then we're going to get the fuck out of here and go and kick in Xbox's ribs for a little bit. because my brother Will Sink wants me to do it now. Because shout out to Will for his support as always. Where's that? Sony. I just had the fucking article. Excuse me. 20 billion. Sony. There it goes. I could not see it. All right, we're just gonna show this to you real quick. Sony loses 20 billion in market value after Microsoft's massive deal to buy. The deal was just announced, and over a 24-hour period, y'all, they lost 20 billion in market evaluation. Now, if you guys don't understand what that means, that just simply means as they were trading their stock, the market said once you added up all the price of all the stock that was available out there, or all the stock that existed, and you accumulated what was worth per share, it dropped in totality $20 billion fucking dollars. That's fucking nuts. And through this whole fiasco between Jim Ryan thinking, oh, it'll go back up in a week or a month or something. Don't worry about it. Of course, you know, this is a monumental announcement, but they're not going to do anything exclusive with this. From Jim Ryan thinking that to him getting uprooted from Phil Spencer and realize, oh shit, no, these motherfuckers, they ain't trying to go exclusive with this. It took Sony a year to get that evaluation back. Now, again, you lose 20 billion. How many of y'all are into cryptocurrency? Because I am. I'm into crypto big. So y'all watching your crypto, you watching it going up and down since Trump was elected, right? Going up and down, he's about to get inaugurated, went up, did another big boost again, right? Watching my crypto like crazy, okay? Imagine whatever particular crypto, whether it's actually Bitcoin itself, losing 20 billion in an evaluation, and that shit goes down to over or under, what is it, $1 million now? Yeah. Imagine that motherfucker hits just 80. Imagine it just hitting 80. Imagine what that would do to your cryptocurrency. So what that did is it made everybody that invest in Sony stock start to pull out. It made people that were thinking about investing in Sony stock say, you know what? Maybe I'll wait. Why is that an issue? Because as people say, I'm going to wait, or as people say, I'm not going to invest, Sony can't draw up capital on their own to do shit. They want to do live service. Regardless if you think it's right or wrong, they got to do it now because they lost 20 billion and they realize, oh, we don't have enough control over this live service. We got to raise capital so we can start getting more control over live service. Now, again, we just fully debated for over an hour whether their tactics were right. That's not what I'm saying now. The fact is there is a need for them to do it. So now they can't draw up their own funds to do this. They got to go borrow money. Why do they have to borrow money? They just lost 20 billion in stock evaluation. They can't draw it up on their own, and they're not going to get an influx of cash from investors because investors are avoiding them now. See, you got to see how all the dominoes fit in chronological order. This shit matters. So now they got to go out and borrow money. So now that they borrow money and they haphazardly approach this thing with live service, and they're canceling 6 out of the 12 games already, now they're going to, sooner or later, the investors are going to say, yo, where's my money? Remember that infamous skit from Family Guy where Stewie's fucking up Brian? Where's my money? Eventually the investors are going to come to, and then that will have an effect on single player because Sony got to pay that money back. So this shit matters. So yeah, it's just not this is why I tell y'all to focus on, you ain't got to understand all the intricacies, but understand that the business part matters. So that's why they did this, because they can't afford this. They can't afford to lose $20 billion in stock evaluation and have investors scared to give them more capital. That they got to go to outside investors instead of and not rely on their stock. Companies normally just rely on investments from their stock and take those assets and then make investments from that. They couldn't afford to do that. They lost $20 billion in evaluation. All right. We're done with that. Now it's time to kick in some good old Xbox teeth. He said, "You funny, Emma." Time to kick in some good old Xbox teeth. All right. So, Cold Blood. There was this big story that came out that, and it's from Insider Gaming. Oh, no, it wasn't from, it was from The Information. I've never heard of them motherfuckers before. The Information. They're like some old 90s newscast. But detail of PlayStation's exclusive, hold on. But The Information had reported that Xbox was seeing a bunch of problems in two key areas. Key area number one was Game Pass. Game Pass was not seeing the bump that it was supposed to see. And then key area number two was still in 2021, it reports that Satya Nadella still wasn't sure if he wanted to keep Xbox around, that he had contemplated throwing them off the cliff like Wile E. Coyote. But then he changed his mind and decided to keep them and double down on them. Now, in lieu of that story, Microsoft responded, Cold Blood. And first, they responded with, "Oh, this is false. It's wrong." And my Xbox brethren said, "See, this was all a scam, she." And they fell for this, in my mind, they fell for the same trap that they did when Phil Spencer tried his shenanigans with Jazz Gordon and did that bullshit about, what did he say? We don't have any plans for Game Pass on any other platform. And they used that as an excuse to say games weren't coming to other platforms. And we know that was a big fucking lie. Right? So that's what they said first to Insider Gaming. Then Insider Gaming, for some reason, I guess somebody reached back out to them and said, we're about to report these quarterly financials. You might want to rephrase that too. We are denying this report. The report is missing context. So, Cold Blood, I'm just going to, again, it's nothing but simple questions, slow pitch down the middle. I'm just going to ask you, who do you believe, you or your lying eyes? Now, who do you believe? Do you believe this report from the informant that Phil was thinking about tossing Xbox again in 2021, Game Pass is failing, or do you believe Microsoft?
I mean, that sounds like a lot of fucking bullshit. I mean, what context is missing there?
Yeah.
We don't even need an investor to tell us it is fucking disappointing. Like, holy shit, Call of Duty is already dying.
Yeah.
Dying.
Yeah.
It's not even out of half a year. It's dying.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, nobody talks about Call of Duty anymore. Nobody gives a shit about Call of Duty. So, what context is missing? It's the context that Xbox is even more dog shit. That's the context that is missing here.
I'm warning my Xbox brethren to please act like consumers. Stop acting like nut glazing fanboys. Stop being thrown under the bus like Jazz Gordon. Poor Jazz Gordon. Shit. First I was like, oh, Jazz, fuck, you keep spreading this false information for him being their laptop. Look, man, apparently there's some codependency from Jazz to where he just likes to get fisted or some shit by Xbox, and he can't help himself.
You have to go sexual with that shit, bro.
You know, I'm sorry, man. It's something's going on there. There's some weird nympho codependency there. Cause bro, man, he gets fisted. Oh, not again. Not before I go home. And then they pin over. Something's going on. I feel sorry for the poor guy. But y'all don't have to end up like Jazz, where, you know, that's a lie. It's copium. I talked to somebody in LA. I'm right 90% of the time. And then they're like, okay. And they just ram that fist, you know, from knuckle to elbow up that motherfucker. You don't have to be like this. Microsoft are liars, and they're going to lie to you because you're not the wiser. Let's break it down like this. Of course, when ABK was absorbed by Xbox, of course, revenue percentages were going to go up. They bring in $9 billion on average. And when you add the $9 billion to whatever Microsoft was bringing in, you know, it's going to raise averages up 50% because you absorbed them. But that's not taking into consideration the money you just spent to buy them. And the fact that there's reports out there that since you've absorbed them, each quarter, Activision Blizzard has fallen short of the money they were supposed to bring in as well. So, of course, like, say, for instance, I have an apartment. I'm going to break this down in simple terms. I have an apartment. I can't pay my bills. So I call up Cobble. I'm like, bro, I can't pay my bills. I need a roommate, man. You trying to room in with me? And I'm like, and Coldblood's like, all right, we'll try it. And so then I call the landlord who's about to kick me the fuck out. And I'm like, see, look, you thought I couldn't do it. But now my income, the house income for this apartment is going to go up 75%. Because now I got my brother Coldblood coming in here. That percentage may sound fine and dandy. But if it's going up 75% of, like, say I bring in $100 a month and he's bringing in, you know what I'm saying, $75 a month, and our rent is $1,000 a month. Guess what? I'm still getting kicked the fuck out. The fact of the matter is, stop falling for these percentages. Of course, after being absorbed, the percentages were going to go up. The true question is, when you start comparing a month or a quarter of one year to a subsequent quarter of another year, where both quarters represent where Microsoft absorbed ABK, are they going up or are they going down? That's when it matters. So them showing these reports where we went up 62%, that's only because you absorbed somebody else. Let's see a month when you fully absorbed ABK versus a subsequent month where you absorbed ABK. Did you go up Or, I mean, not month, but quarter. Did you go up or did you go down then? That's the context they're trying to tell you. Oh, you're missing context. Nobody's falling for that shit that understands basic math. It's just unfortunate for a lot of my Xbox brothers. They don't understand. My Xbox brothers and sisters out here, they don't understand basic math. Show me a fiscal quarter of when you absorbed ABK at first and the following year after ABK's been absorbed. Compare them. Don't compare a fiscal quarter where you didn't have ABK to a fiscal quarter to when you got ABK. That's not telling me anything. Because the word in the streets is you're losing money. But not, what you're or ABK is underperforming, except for, now I will say this, and I would be very surprised if they underperform this quarter where Call of Duty first launched, because those sales on PlayStation are fucking sick. So I would be if they underperform. Oh my God, they need to shut down. I'm willing to bet my right arm they don't underperform that quarter, right? And kudos to them. Fine, you guys had a great launch. You guys rolled this game out, made it very appealing, where, you know, numbers are great then. But let's not be fooled like you guys made a revenue jump of 60% here or 58 points here, whatever, based off of activity that was already established. No, you merged. So of course your revenue went up percentage-wise after a merger. If your revenue doesn't go up percentage-wise after a merger, that's got to be the dumbest fucking merger in mankind. Show me months, fiscal quarters rather, where you've absorbed ABK versus another fiscal quarter, the following year, where you've absorbed ABK, and let's see how you're doing. And again, we cannot deny Xbox in giving them accolades for this particular fiscal quarter where ABK launched, because I think this will be the first fiscal quarter where they can compare it to a fiscal quarter where ABK was absorbed. They should outperform them. Or they might not. I don't know, because that would be fiscal quarters where, what do you call it? Fiscal quarters where, you know, Call of Duty launched prior. But I think this Call of Duty was definitely bigger than the prior year's Call of Duty. So I think it'll be significantly bigger. But we got to consistently be able to make these comparisons and see them going up. If they're not consistently going up, then there's a problem. So this false sense of context that you're trying to provide, Microsoft, is bullshit. And the fact that you led with refuting this and then had to come back and then say, oh, there's missing context, tells us everything we need to know. I just said it in a long-winded way. Cold Blood already wrapped it up. It's bullshit. It's absolute and total bullshit. You're going to see great numbers. I suspect you'll see great numbers in comparison this past fiscal quarter because of the launch of Black Ops 6. Absolutely. I will be fucking shocked if you don't. But after that, man, that'll be the tall tale.
Didn't they already say that the gaming division expects in the highest single digits loss?
Oh my God!
Wasn't there something like
I
that?
hope not. I hope not.
No, didn't that already happen?
They probably did. They probably did. I missed that. I hope not. I hope they were talking about hardware. If they're talking about the gaming division altogether, oh my fucking God.
No, I think the gaming division.
Because you and I both said it, Cold Blood. Like, we never were in denial about how well Call of Duty was going to be for them, and even how much it was going to impact Game Pass, at least in that launch period. We never denied that.
Oh no.
But if you can't outperform last quarter after these numbers, the record amount of the Game Pass subscriptions on a Thursday afternoon while people were eating tacos. If all those litmuses that you put out there, including what you said Insider Gaming, is a bunch of bullshit, and you need to just go full publisher. I'm sorry. Now, people like my brother Will Sick might want to drop kick me because I said something like that, but there's no fucking hope. If your gaming division can't outperform with Call of Duty the way that it launched, you have no hope. I would hope not. That gaming division better be at least 3 to 5 points higher, or better. I'll just say this: it better not be in the negative. Because if overall they're in the negative, oh my god, the first time Game Pass had Call of Duty day and date. So even if those subscriptions aren't sustained, they should have been high enough to inflate the numbers for the quarter at least, along with the PlayStation sales and along with all the again, all the new people that are playing Call of Duty on Game Pass. They may dump it after a month or two, but you know, a good number of them would have bought a skin or something, right? The way that they're microtransaction in this bitch to high heaven. You're telling me that after something seminal like that, that you still are in the negative in the gaming? Oh my fucking god. Then you failed. And then here's what I will tell you: as far as Xbox is concerned, you'll never hear me talk any business shit again. That you failed, because there's no need to. I'll just be like Cold Blood. It's bullshit. That's all I'll say is bull. What do you think, Moss? Is bullshit. You failed, because that exemplifies the heart and soul of your message for Game Pass. Look, we're putting this big Leviathan game in here. People are going to flock to Game Pass to get access to it. It's all about day and date cloud services, subscription services. That's what it's all about, man. Let's do it. And is it? Hold on. There's 50 Hey, Will, let me know. Or Cold Blood, I don't know if you know. Isn't Call of Duty one of the 50 games that you can buy and play on the cloud too? What? Or somebody let me know in the chat. What are the 50 games you can play in your library with xCloud? Okay. Look, I think if Call of Duty's one of these games. Oh, it's Modern Warfare 2. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm about to say. So it pretty much, now where is this list at? What I will say is that, okay, Black Ops 6 isn't on that list, but what I will say is that that's 90% of your story right there, is the day and date and Game Pass Leviathan game on all these multiple devices. Big time Call of Duty launch. I mean, this launch was huge. Now, is the sustainability of it huge? Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, no, but this launch was huge. I wish I could find the actual list. No, not that I know of. Through Ubisoft, I think, due to CMA. That is right. That is right. Yep. Damn, I should know that, right? Co-owner of Cloud Dosage. Duh. Matter of fact, check out Cloud. Oh, and can I say something real quick, y'all? Just quick, shameless plug. Shout out to Dr. Spaceman, newest member of Cloud Dosage. The whole team does a fantastic job, and I know most of those guys they listen to this show and they're like, oh, he's hating on Xbox, but they do a fan because they love Xbox over there. They love xCloud, they love Xbox. Fine with me. I know there are certain contingencies and expectations that are different from cloud gamers versus a AAA genre defining gamer like me. Like cloud gaming for me is something that I'm fully behind, but it's a vehicle to easily bring you that genre defining gaming no matter where you're at, to where there's a lot of cloud gamers that are based that are like solely defined in the convenience, you know, so that's okay. But I will say this, the newest member of the Cloud Dosage family, the homie Dr. Spaceman, great articles. He's our contributor for PlayStation content. If you want to know all about PlayStation Portal, cloud gaming stuff, go to Cloud Dosage or look up Dr. Spaceman on Twitter and pay attention to his content. He's doing a phenomenal job along with the rest of the team out there. But yeah. So, and they have great tools out there to easily discover which games are available on the cloud, which isn't. I could have very easily went there and found out where it's at. Shout out to Dr. Spaceman and the Cloud Dosage team and Jack and them over there. Jenna Hayes says MM2K Gaming, Phil Spencer will resign soon. I'll say this. And Jenna, is it me and you that joke around about him getting that soul food plate from Sarah Bond, and then he going on a vegan diet and shit? I think it's me and you that joke around about that. Yeah, I will tell you this. What I just got animated on, and hopefully you guys thought it was thoroughly entertaining, but what I was just animated on about it, because I'm dead ass fucking serious. If they don't have a quarter that outperforms last quarter after this, it's over. And if that happens, yeah, Phil's gone. Phil's gone. Phil's not making it. He's definitely not making it past 2026. Phil's gone. Now, Phil's gone, and then the Xbox experience gets heavily shuttered. I know Will don't want to hear this. Whatever they're doing with hardware, that's dead. You know, they might focus on cloud for delivery. But outside of being a direct-to-consumer cloud service, there's not going to be hardware. That'll be dead. They're just going to publish games everywhere. And what I see happening is Phil being tossed out like Jazzy Jeff on The Fresh Prince, and Sarah Bond taking over and leading those efforts. Her and Matt Booty. Matt Booty being in charge of software, Sarah Bond being in charge of delivery. Phil's gone. Yeah, I see that easily. If they fail, here's why that would be so huge, y'all. I don't think y'all get it. I told y'all this before. This is another case. The last case we gave you, where we tried to enlighten you guys and tell you guys something, and you guys were like, and we end up being true. As you know, my brother Cold Blood spearheaded that. I said, I'm not arguing with the man in 2025. Not at all. I'll just say, you know what? I can dig where you're coming from there. Here's what I think. I'm not going to deny either way. But here's a situation where I tried to tell you guys based upon the business experience. Sarah Bond is not on board with Phil Spencer. Sarah, there's two factions at Xbox right now. One is the Phil Spencer, Matt Booty faction. The other is the Amy Hood, Satya Nadella faction. Sarah Bond is part of the Satya Amy Hood faction. Why do I surmise that? Well, because this is an Xbox campaign that's kind of fizzled and went away. Somebody from Xbox threw her under the bus and told Tom Warren, "Oh, this is a Sarah thing, and she's basing her whole career on that." That was Phil Spencer's side that did that, because they don't believe in that shit. They believe in being everywhere and distributing everywhere, but they want to sock it to Sony. Where the Amy Satya wing, they're not even thinking about Sony. They're thinking about Google and Amazon, and they already put the death pen in Google. Now they're just waiting to extract this Call of Duty cloud business from them. And they're trying to battle Amazon. That's who his true enemies are. And they don't care about PlayStation. They'd rather do business with PlayStation, where Phil doesn't want to. So I told you guys that was Sarah Bond's thing, and that went over, and it was discovered that it was Sarah Bond, per the report at The Verge. Yeah. The reason why I think Sarah will take over is because Phil Spencer and his faction are the ones that wanted Call of Duty day and date in Game Pass. We've heard from multiple sources, including my brother, close to, he got sources. He still got sources there. My brother Tim Dog, that it is the Phil's faction that want that in there. It's the Satya faction that didn't want it in there. So with as big as what Call of Duty was, at launch time, we're just talking about launch. As big as Call of Duty was at launch, and as many as copies it sold on PlayStation, the fact that it could have made even more money by forcing you to buy it on PC and Xbox, the fact that they would have lost out on that money, and they would have lost out so much that now they're in the negative when you compare fiscal quarters. Oh, there's going to be hell to pay. There is going to be hell to pay. If you thought there was hell to pay after Starfield because Starfield didn't sustainably do what Satya needed to do, and I know me and my brother Will Sink, we've argued about this on Twitter. Not argued, but we debated this on Twitter, because I said, look, from a financial output, Amy Hood would have looked at, this is how much we would make if Starfield is multiplat and we force everybody to buy it day one. Here's how much we need to make off of Game Pass subscriptions, blah, yada, 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 in order to make that a sustain. This is the type of activity that we need long term to make up for the day one losses of not having all direct sales. Meaning, okay, so they know day one when they launch Starfield, they're not going to get all that money because of Game Pass. But if they get that money and some over time due to Starfield being in Game Pass, they're happy. Right? And apparently that didn't happen. So with all, because Starfield was a Leviathan game as far as its reception. It was the next Cyberpunk, right? It's supposed to be big time ticket game. That was the most important RPG of our lifetime, right? Sarah Bond said that. So of course it was going to have great general sales, but the money that they left on the table due to Game Pass, and by that money not being sustained over time as they needed it to be, that was strike one. Strike two was they got ABK, but they couldn't use ABK the way that they want. Keep it exclusive, keep it off of Amazon Luna, make sure that Google doesn't make any money. They can't do that because of how Phil convinced them to handle Bethesda. CMA, as Will pointed out in the chat, CMA has no viable clinch or any say in what happens with the cloud rights if they don't use Bethesda as a litmus. Because that's the only thing that gave them pause was how they handled Bethesda. They handled Bethesda a certain way that allowed Google and other cloud services to go and whine to these regulators. The regulators said, yeah, we have a concern. And now ABK couldn't be used in the way that Satya wanted it to be used. It couldn't be the powder keg that he wanted it to be. They didn't want to give these 10-year deals to everybody and their grandmother. They didn't want to lose their cloud rights, especially the cloud rights. Satya is all about the cloud. He didn't spend $80 billion just so this shit could be exclusive. He wanted to separate, he wanted to strip Call of Duty cloud business from Google and AWS to further Azure on the cloud. Don't give a fuck about gaming. It's not why he spent $75 billion on that. It furthers his agenda on the cloud. And he couldn't do that because how Phil Spencer convinced him to handle Bethesda. That gave argument chips to Google and whoever else, NVIDIA, whoever that complained to the CMA and all the other regulators. And now we are where they are. That was strike 2. Strike 3 will be, okay, you battled me tooth and nail, and we put Call of Duty in Game Pass day and date. This shit better be a phenomenon. And I'm telling you, he might not make it to the motherfucking end of 2025. If when these fiscal quarter reports come out, and again, for the record, I suspect they're not to be in the negative. I expect them to be in the plus. Maybe they were undercutting expectations because Xbox is doing so poorly. They don't want to be caught, they don't want to be caught out there. So maybe they undercut the expectations. But I'm going to tell you this. If after putting Call of Duty in Game Pass day and date, if they can't outperform the last fiscal quarter, Phil is gone. And he might not make it to the end of 2025. Mark my words. Mark my words. He will not make it to the end of 2025. We'll see. I don't expect it to happen. I expect them to outperform the comparable quarter. But if they don't, my gosh, we'll be drinking pina coladas with Jim Ryan. All right. So yeah, but in short form, Cold Blood is 1,000% right. The what did they say? What's the term that they use? It's missing context. The missing context is bullshit. Nobody cares about that. Okay. Last but not least, and I want to get my brother's thoughts on this because I look at this differently. Let's talk about it. Switch 2. I look at this differently. But for some reason, y'all, a lot of y'all, more so than not, y'all are like, that Switch 2 reveal was dog shit. Go to my brother Cold Blood. Cold Blood, what did you think about the Switch 2 reveal, man? And why was it donkey dog shit to you, man? What were you expecting to see?
Games. Like, brother, is that even a legitimate question right now?
Oh God!
You show that motherfucker in every single way, right? Like all the 360-degree angles, and then you got the fucking balls to show me one of my most hated exclusives of yours. Fucking Mario Kart. I could not give less of a fuck about Mario Kart. It don't matter if that is the old Mario Kart being played backwards compatible or a new one. I don't give a shit. This is not what I had a Switch for. I had a Switch for Smash. I had a Switch for Xenoblade. I had a Switch for Fire Emblem. And some other a few RPG exclusives. Mm-hmm. I could not give less of a fuck about no Mario Kart, bruh. If that is their launch game, to me it's dead on arrival. To me, I could not give less of a fuck. They need something, and they better do it fast. They better show something because your shit is launching in April, and all we know is some Mario Kart is gonna be playable on a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Kart to me is like the bundled games back on the Wii. They're just there as something you can play, but yeah, that's not why you buy the motherfucking system for.
I mean,
look. You know why I also say this review is dog shit? Just compare that to the actual Switch. How they unveiled that one. Because this time around, this thing where you put it in the dock and all of a sudden you can play on the TV is no longer new. You did not innovate whatsoever. It's just literally a Switch Pro.
Yeah.
But you call it Switch 2, which is questionable at best with that anemic fucking hardware. And like, bro, at this point, I want Nintendo to tell us 60 FPS is guaranteed. If they can do that, I cannot guarantee a day one buy for this motherfucker. Because I'm not about to throw away $400 for a Switch Pro. I'm serious.
Throw away $400 for a Switch Pro. God damn.
It's gonna be 400. We don't even know yet.
Yeah, we don't know.
Oh my god. Oh, the balls they would have to do it 500 or more. Ooh. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
500 would be tough.
Oh, that would hurt these motherfuckers. I'm telling you.
I mean, I get it, bro. I get it. I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna say you're wrong or anything like that. I will say from my perspective.
Wait. Now people gonna come and tell me, but Metroid Prime 4. But Metroid Prime 4. No. That is not a built from the ground up game for the Switch 2. No.
Why you say that?
That is gonna be a backwards compatible game.
Oh, okay.
Maybe upscaled a little bit higher. But brother, that is not why I would get a new system for. I can play that Metroid Prime 4 on the fucking Switch if I really need to.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, what do you think the performance is going to be though? You think it's, you still think it's going to hit 60? I mean, the last Metroid Prime hit 60 on the Switch, right? I think that's what Geek told me.
I absolutely expect them to do 60 FPS. If they can do that, bro, oh my god.
Okay,
they are so fucked.
Geek,
they are so fucked.
Did the last Metroid hit 60? I think you're the one that told me that. Did the last Metroid hit 60 on the Switch? But yeah, I'm not gonna say any of that is wrong, and I completely understand. I do understand it because I got to be honest here. You guys know me. I wasn't checking the Switch at all. Like the Switch had no chance with me. It had no chance with me because primarily it was a 30 frames per second machine. Now it was Geek, the conversation that me, you, and Geek had one time where I was like, oh, there are 60 frames per second games on there. Okay, cool, but there just wasn't. It just wasn't standard enough. I will say this: if they still have the same caliber of Switch games, you know, and the standard is 60, as long as I get either a good 1080p docked or 1440, I mean, not docked, undocked, and at least 1440p docked at $400, I'm getting it. And it's easier for me to say that than you, Cold Blood, because I didn't even have the first Switch to where you had it. So I get where you're coming from. It's like, this is just going to be a minimum upgrade for me, and I'm not paying $500 for that. You know, I would get, if it's $500 and it's giving me all those things that I just mentioned, yeah, it's going to be a tougher sell, but I need something to replace the fact that Xbox is totally gone. Xbox is out of the picture.
Mouse.
Uh-huh.
That hardware is actually less powerful than the Series S.
The Series S, yeah.
So
let's grab DLSS, right?
What do you expect these games gonna run at?
Let's grab DLSS. So, I mean, I can get 1440p 60 docked.
Brother, FSR couldn't save fucking Series S.
Yeah, but DLSS is a lot better. If they have a version that can run well,
the benefits of the DLSS that's gonna be in the Switch ain't gonna be that much better than FSR is.
So you don't think that it's going to be able to achieve 1440p 60 docked?
What the specs that got leaked are true? Mm-hmm. The tensor cores in that motherfucker ain't nothing, bro. They ain't doing no AI upscaling like that.
Yeah, that's the determinant for me. If it can't meet at least those benchmarks, I'm not even expecting 4K out of it. I'll settle for 1440p docked, 60 frames per second.
Forget it.
Yeah, if
1080p docked.
Yeah, if that's
at best.
I can't do. I can't do 1080p docked. Because then, what I do suspect is it's not going to hit a constant 60. I know that. So if you're not hitting a constant 60 and you're giving me 1080p, it's gonna be. If that's the case, I'm leaning more towards I'm not getting. But if it's $500 and it's only 1080p docked, and you're not hitting it 60, a consistent 60, then I'm not getting it. That's where I'm at. I'm definitely getting it if I can get 1440p 60 mode docked at 400. I'm definitely getting it. Maybe I would if it's 1440p docked at 500. If it's fucking 1080p docked at 40, at 4 or 500, I don't know. Maybe at 400, but I doubt it. Definitely no at 500. Fuck that. Old Man Guru Gaming says they are saying 1440p dock, but what TV does 1440p, not 4K, not 1080p? So yeah, I know that's where it kind of gets complicated. Now I got an LG in the office that I use as a monitor, so yeah.
I mean, look, maybe it can output 1440p docked, but but the actual resolution of those games ain't gonna be 4040p.
Oh, you mean it's gonna be upscale? Yeah, you know, I mean, again, and the AI it depends upon, to your point, it depends upon how well that is. If it's mediocre and it looks like a bowl of oatmeal, then well, it actually looks decent.
This trailer, no, look, this trailer. If you did not get excited, I absolutely understand you. Because this trailer was just, we got a Switch that is maybe just a little bit more powerful than the Switch before that, and you can play your games back compat. See you in 3 months. What the fuck was that? No, you have to have a showcase game with it. Like back in the day, Breath of the Wild. That was a showcase game for the system.
Yeah. And I think, and to that point, I think that they were just trying to get ahead. I know Jason Schreier said, they're trying to do it so people can reveal. I think they were trying to get ahead of all the leaks, which they bumbled that, not knocking that down, and the motherfucking third-party accessory company leaked the fucking thing to you.
Look, we already knew how it looked way before. Like, there were so many mock-ups of it.
Yeah.
And it looked exactly the same. Even the fucking logo. That low effort, absolutely zero sense and design logo was already leaked a fucking year ago, almost. Where it's just Nintendo Switch 2. A fucking big ass 2. Like, bro, there's nothing hype about it anymore. The only thing you can hype us up with is games for that system. Exclusive games.
Yeah.
That's where you will have the hype from people.
Well, there's a it's supposed to release. Well, they didn't say when it was going to. It's being speculated that it's releasing in April, right?
No, it was in the trailer that it released in April.
Oh, you said in the trailer it said April.
Yeah.
I thought it was. Oh, okay. I thought that they just said 2025. I missed that part. Okay. So
No.
Okay. So then there's supposed to be a direct in March, right?
Well, you would hope so.
Well, they gotta knock it out of the park. Can we get 2 more likes, y'all, before we get out of here? I gotta get out of here in like 2 minutes. But can we get 2 more likes before we get out of here? Go ahead, Cobra. I'll let you wrap up.
If they really can knock it out of the park, like I said, with that direct and have games that I really want to play,
yeah,
I might consider it. But the price has to be right.
Yeah.
The price absolutely has to be right for this one, because this is anemic ass hardware from what we got leaked for now. This is some not even Steam Deck levels of anemic hardware.
Okay. Thank you for the two likes, y'all. Appreciate it. Thank you. That goes a long way to help out the stream. Jax82 says that's the Nintendo Direct in April. I don't know.
Are you sure about that?
Here, I got the article up right here.
Just look at the trailer, bro.
Oh no, you can't put in a Nintendo trailer. Fuck no.
No. Just the still shot of the date. You don't have to show the trailer.
Oh, come on.
I mean, if that is really the date for the Nintendo Direct, okay. That's different. And then they got some time to show us games. But I was assuming that is the release date of the Switch.
Nah, that's what I thought. They just said 2025. I'll flash it real quick. It just says 2025. There's no date. Yeah, I think that the Nintendo Direct is April. So all they say is 20. Oh, no. No, here it goes. Yeah, it says Nintendo Direct Switch, April 2nd, 2025. So
okay.
That's the direct.
My
Okay.
bad then.
Okay.
My bad then.
So then it's probably coming out with June or no holiday. I don't know. Okay. Cool. They said Switch 2 should be at least PS4 Pro level. I don't know. I mean, based upon the leaked specs, would you say Cold Blood's cracking up? Go, Cold Blood. Give your final thoughts on that, and we got to get out of here.
Brother, how? It's impossible.
Yeah.
PS4 Pro level? I don't think so, brother. I mean, sure, the CPU might be more capable than the fucking PS4. But the GPU part of it, that's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
With the power delivery that the Switch is gonna have,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. Nintendo Switch, you got some explaining to do. So hopefully you show the games. I'm unfazed from the lack of details right now because I'm looking at the performance. Things are hinting towards performance that are up my alley, but I can completely understand somebody like Cold Blood saying this is a nominal upgrade. Nah, I'm not digging this. You got to show more. I can understand that. You know what I mean? So, all right.
You need a showcase game for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and hopefully they will. I'm confident they will. So, all right. With that said, thank you everybody for joining us today. Hell of a show. And we appreciate you guys coming by. You know, I know there was a lot of podcasts going on and stuff like that, but you know, you got to come to us to get the straight dope. And hopefully the lesson learned today, we're early in 2025. Don't be I had to have this conversation with my wife. Don't be so damn dismissive when I tell you something, because you might be missing out on something that can help you in the long run. So don't be so dismissive with us. All right, I got to get out of here. With that said, I appreciate everybody. Thank y'all so much. Have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.